Welcome to our series on the names of God. Today we are going to be looking at the name Nahsah. The forgiving character of God really is expressed in at least two different words. And so I want to look at today one name of God that has to do with forgive, and then the next day we will look at another name of God related to forgiving. They don't oppose one another, but rather reflect a different aspect of his gracious forgiveness. And I just could not use one without the other. I think these characteristics of his forgiveness are definitely worthy of two blogs. So today we'll look at the name Nahsah, the God who forgives. It is most clearly stated in Psalm 99:8. You answered them, O Lord our God, you were to them God who forgives. Now, this word Nahsah is used 653 times in the Old Testament, so very often, mostly describing an act of man, not an act of God. It covers three semantic ranges, and by that I mean this when I say semantic. If you look at these A, B, and C letters, you may call them blocks, you may call them cubes, you may call them toys. See, they're each an aspect of the same object. So the word Nahsah has been translated in three different ways, each describing a different aspect of forgiveness. One is to lift, to bear or carry, or to take away, all describing this aspect of God's forgiveness. It speaks of man or men bearing the ark, or a table, or the rings of the side of a table, or the altar. It speaks of an armor bearer, one who takes up armor and bears it or wears it, giving the sense of taking up from one place and carrying it to another, even a wife, taking her from singleness, responsible for herself, to wife under the care of her husband. He now bears the care of her. There are several verses that speak of the sinner bearing his own iniquities and the heaviness of that. We see in Psalm 38:4, for my iniquities have gone over my head like a heavy burden. They are too heavy for me. But then we have the glorious words of verses like Psalm 65:3, which start out sadly, iniquities prevail against me. But as for our transgressions, you will provide atonement for them. Scripture does not stop at leaving us to bear our own sins. See, Jesus came to take them from us and bear them for us. Isaiah 53:5-6, speaking of Jesus, says, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. And the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. And then we have Isaiah 53:11. He, speaking of Jesus, shall see the labor of his soul and be satisfied. I love that. Jesus is going to see the result of all that he went through for us. By his knowledge, my righteous servant shall justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. And then Hebrews 9:28. So Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. So hopefully you're kind of getting a sense of what he's saying there. Let's look at Psalm 99:8 again. You answered them, O Lord, O God. You were to them the God who forgives. See, lest we be misled by that word, you were to them, describing God as maybe someone who in the past has forgiven or forgiven only certain failures. This word in the Hebrew tense speaks of a continuous action. He's the God who forgives and continues to do so and will not stop. Ever and always are Jehovah Nahsah. God first revealed himself as a God who forgives in Exodus 34:7. Remember when Moses said to him, "Show me your glory"? And the Lord passed by him and he revealed some of his characteristics to Moses, the things that he wants us to know about him. Absolutely wonderful characteristics. And God revealed himself as forgiving. In that revelation, we find characteristics that God desires us to know, and he desires us to know him as our forgiving God, our Nahsah. He has taken the sin that you and I deserve to bear, and he has taken it upon himself, bore it, took the cost of it, took the pain of it, took it away from you to him. Are you still bearing your own sin? In that, are you still feeling the weight of your sin, even though you have confessed and God says he forgives, but you're still feeling that weight? As I was preparing that, this today, I thought, that's a phantom weight. It's not there. And yet, sometimes we feel that weight, and when we confess and believe God that he is faithful to forgive us and cleanse us, that weight goes away. It's been taken and borne by Jesus. Have you praised him lately for that? He is Nahsah, the God who forgives you. God bless you.